Number of change the word second. Yeah, before it's full. That's done in one month the size, right? Repeat. That's it is. Recognition.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a couple changes to the agenda. I'd like to remove item 13. Although Catawba County recognizes the need for racial equality, I recommend number 13, the National Day of Racial Healing Proclamation, be deleted from tonight's agenda to ensure that the statements proclaimed align with the EEOP plan currently being implemented by our HR department.
So that's the reason you want to.
Yes, sir.
Delete it.
Yes, sir.
Which by 14 was.
And I also would like to delete 15.
15.
Yes, sir. As you recall, back a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, we had a discussion with the NCACC that were going to come in and offer a session to review the pay scale rate changes. And as you know, we have a meeting tonight that's caused us not to have that meeting. So as a result, we're having to delay the discussion with the commissioners until the next meeting, the 16th.
You know, kind of delaying the proclamation, that kind of bothered me a bit of that. I mean, I think it's just right, just you know, we put it on the agenda. You know, I don't think that's enough information for me while we do that.
That's exactly right. I think they put it on the today's agenda back 6 weeks ago with the thought that maybe we'd have time to discuss it. It was planned for a work session tonight, but because of the county manager review, and the work session couldn't take place, so as a result, we had to take off the action item.
Are we planning on?
Yes, sir. Plan on putting it back to 16.
16?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
The proper second, we're taking off the 13th and the 14th, 15th. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Extend the agenda. AD, some of the total. Motion made by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Pope. All in favor, saying aye. All opposed? Fingers. Seeing done. We couldn't hear him, I don't think. He read it, but Mr. Townsend, no one to speak of, on the audience.
She's on the picture. She
Okay.
presents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we contact her by?
So she might be muted.
But I don't think she hears it.
Are you muted? Can you hear us?
Hi, this is Kara. I can hear you.
Okay, we got you now. Thank you.
Good evening.
Now, I can't tell if you all see my presentation or not, but I can go ahead and start if you can't.
We can see you.
We see
Yep,
you.
okay. Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and start. I'm Kara Donor. I'm the Community Relations Director for VIA Health, which is one of the state's managed care organizations. We manage Medicaid funding for the state for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, substance use disorders, and also foster care. And so what I wanted to share tonight is just some quick updates on how the county is doing. We're really excited about the new behavioral health walk-in center that we have in Caswell County, and that is new within the year. It's located right off of NC 86, and it's open from 8 to 5, not open on Saturday and Sundays, but we're seeing a lot of great movement there. There is even a group of teenagers meeting there for help in a peer-related group, and we find that working peer-to-peer really helps different groups, especially teenagers who see people who are dealing with some of the same issues they're dealing with on the behavioral health spectrum. But wanted to mention that and also just go through some figures for you. So wanted to let you know that that Caswell is doing well. We've had more walk-ins. So since we last met, RHA is now handling the mobile crisis, and they're also handling the walk-in center. And so that's been good news from the county, because mobile crisis is a tool that not a lot of people use, but people are supposed to be responded to in 2 hours. So that's anyone who has any kind of mental health crisis, regardless if they're on Medicaid or not. So that's a great service to be utilizing. But I did want to mention that RHA is now the mobile crisis provider, which is exciting for the county. And please stop me if you have any questions, or I can wait until the end. But so just so you know, there are about 5 providers that are top in Caswell County. That's Carolina Behavioral Care, Life Source of North Carolina, Easter Seals, Youth Haven, and RHA. Those are your biggest providers in the county. And another thing I wanted to mention is the innovations waiver. And this is a really neat service offered by the state for people who would otherwise be living in a facility. The innovations waiver is something people apply for, and it could take about a decade to get on the services. But once you do, it's really great for families who care for children or even other family members at home. But you get up to $120,000 a year to help provide that care. And so that can take someone out of an environment that may not be that great, or might be across the state where family members can't visit, and put the supports in home or in an apartment near where family members live, so people can live on their own and with supports. And it's a really cool system. We have a case, for example, in Chatham County, where a 23-year-old was really capable of living on his own. He was high functioning autistic. And we were able to get him into a tiny home where he has all of the services and supports he needs. He has wraparound care with a behavioral health staff coming in to make sure he's eating. He has meals he can prepare himself. He has lists. But it's really great to see people getting transitioned out of institutionalized care. So VIA has we are charged with transitioning about 30 people out of institutionalized living this year. And other MCOs across the state may not use their slots. And so we'll take those to try to get more people transitioned out. But it's a really great success to see that happen. Right now, Caswell has 27 active innovations waiver slots in the county, and people on the waiting list, it's about 10. So that's good news. The General Assembly, they are constantly adding more members to those more slots, so that those are spread out through all the counties across the state. But I just wanted to mention that program because I really think it's a great service that we offer in this state. I think that's pretty much the end of my presentation. I just wanted to give you those updates and open up the floor to any questions.
Any questions from the commission?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I think no one have.
No questions.
So we
Okay.
definitely appreciate what you're doing.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Thank you for your presentation.
The board having a question now, we definitely appreciate the job the Lakers are doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you for letting us serve your county. It has been a pleasure. And I will say that I'm very impressed with Caswell County. A lot of different services are really helping meet the needs of people struggling with behavioral health and all of the different issues that come from that. So thank you. I appreciate all of your service and all of the staff in the county.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would say I serve on that board and Castle and Baker boards, and they spend over $200,000 right here in Castle County. We don't have a hospital here in Castle. They do support the county. It's like that. Committee know that. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next on the list will be voter commission, committee and commissioners. And I think I got that something right here.
So this one is
I
boards
think
and,
everybody has that.
it's boards and committees for the commission.
Yeah, on the application received 4 current members on Cass County Adult Supervisor Council. I see one
No,
name.
sir, that's a different list.
This is she's talking about the ones where the commissioners sit on boards.
Yeah.
Not that one you got in your hand. Yeah,
Yeah, I know the first one you see, I got 2, so I have to put myself without add more than 2 when paramedic, I did not 10. I was on the A&T executive board, and I did not December when the paramedic board came back. And so I'll be willing to take 2 more. I'll be willing to take the personnel, one personnel and the advisor. Wildlife Advisory Committee, be willing to take those 2. If anyone will give it up to me.
Ms. Gwen has volunteered to take juvenile.
Juvenile prevention.
I'd like to let her have that.
See what else? You want to?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's juvenile.
Okay, good enough. You getting that down, Kirk? Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Commissioner Jeffers, did you say you were volunteering to serve on the personnel committee?
I will.
Okay. Will that be taken away
If
from?
someone want to give it up, I'll see, they got 3 on that. Someone want to give it up, they don't, they fine.
Be fine to take that, be off of that if people wants that slot.
I put personnel committee on there. Everybody else speak about theirs?
Madam Clerk, Mr. Chairman, Madam Clerk, I think you can remove me off of the Piedmont Tribes Rural Planning Organization. I think that's one that Ms. Williams been doing. Because I had a conflict on the day of that meeting.
Right.
Keep my trial by the hill that in the night, that's night meeting.
No, sir, that's a day meeting.
Where's the hill? In Greenwood?
And,
Colonelsville.
Kernersville, they usually, Kernersville, and they're usually right with Allen Falls.
Yeah, I'm on that one time.
Yeah.
Commissioner Jeffries, did you also offer to serve on the Wildlife Advisory?
Well,
Committee?
nobody wants to give it up, so it's fine. I got
Okay.
it up. I'm gonna take the people.
Perfect.
It's a thing, that's it. No, that's all. For everyone else satisfied with the document. All right, we'll move on forward with that. Okay. Next one is commission planning work session. And I was thinking about a certain moment, buddies. Busy, would that be suitable to the board? Work session. Certain moment.
What are you talking about?
Probably from 8 to 12.
Not meant what day.
You know, I didn't look at the calendar and the Saturday you come up with, y'all come up with, we fine with me.
Got the 6th, 13th, 20th, and the 27th.
6 and 13's out. I think.
6th and the 13th, and the 20th, and the 27th. 6 is out.
What about 13?
20's out.
And that leaves January 27th.
27?
Well, if it's, there's no objection from the other board members.
Plan on attending unless something happens and it.
27 to the one?
Eight to 12, is that what you said?
8 12. 27, we go with that. Upgrading the historic courthouse.
Yes, Commissioners, tonight we have representatives from Audio and Light Incorporated, out of Greensboro to discuss a new audio system for the courthouse. You guys come up, this podium.
Yeah, thanks for having us here tonight. My name is Thomas Howard. I'm from a company called Audio and Light in Greensboro, North Carolina. This is our owner, Jim Boyle. And we've sent out 2 quotes now to do upgrades in the Yanceyville Historic Courthouse. Jason Benson, the IT director, and I first met a few months ago to discuss some work in his office. And we've looked at the Yanceyville Courthouse as well. So for that, I've produced 2 quotes to upgrade the audio system. The quote that we would recommend going with here is the one that has wired microphones versus wireless microphones. I am happy to go into detail about this quote, discuss what all it entails, and hopefully answer any questions that you all have. Would you like me to begin?
Yeah, go ahead, go into detail.
Okay, sure. So right now, the existing system has microphones on the dais and the other tables. All of those microphones will be replaced with new microphones. These are going to be a lot better suited for the purposes that you're using. All of that will go back to a systems processor that will handle all the audio to solve all of the issues that you've had conferencing. When Jason first showed me the space and what you guys were using for conferencing, it was just the equipment's the wrong application for the room. And I think that you guys are having a lot of woes because of that. So what this system will entail is the same number of microphones out there, but they will be different. A speaker on the wall for the audience, and then small speakers on the dais so the board members can not only hear the other board members, but when someone talks at the podium and that sort of thing. Again, all of that is gonna be processed with a computer that we call a core, essentially, with a touchscreen control, so it'll be very simple for you all to come in and start a meeting and not have to worry about the audio, both going to the stream, and in the room. So it should, work a lot better than what you currently have. Yes, sir.
You said a speaker on the wall. Is it gonna be one or both sides?
Right now, from modeling the room with the software that we use, you're only gonna need one speaker in the room for the reinforcement. It's a column speaker, so it's actually comprised of a lot of smaller speakers in the column that all work together, and it's steerable, which means that we can steer the sound where we need it. So we'll put it in the seats, but not on the back wall and all the places where we don't want sound.
Second question, it's no trouble running it through those desks. How do you get it to your screens and all that? It's not wirely on the floor.
Well, so we did discuss, I'm not sure that there are going to be other wire paths other than what currently is there, which is running it on the floor. There will be less cables. Jason and I discussed maybe a more permanent solution to the carpets that you currently have, some type of ramp or something, but it is gonna take some investigation on our part. Because it's a historic and older building, where can we actually pull wire? Is it actually gonna be possible to do? And that's just gonna take some further investigating.
How many of the small speakers are you talking about installing for the commissioners to be able to use?
5. So the 5 small speakers are about this big, about 3 inches diagonal.
Yeah.
On the dais, and then 1 speaker for all the audience members.
So you just made the statement, Commissioner Holt, that you would have to do some further investigation.
Yes, sir.
Is that gonna change the price?
It could potentially, yes.
I'm sure it'll come down.
Well, the one thing that is the unknown at this time is we need to get power to the speaker on the wall, and we need, to hang it on the wall. So because it's a historic building and those are old plaster walls, if we're unable to do that, then we're gonna have to go to another solution. Right now, this quote is based on assuming that it's all gonna be standard and we're gonna be able to do it. Again, that may change once we start investigating.
Have you met with, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
on this?
we met there.
He's doing capable of figuring out how to get us.
I think we can work it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got a platform there with the commissioners, platforms are that we can work to.
right.
Yeah.
One thing that I do want to mention as well, is that installing this new equipment is going to require us to drill some holes in the dais, to run the cables underneath it. So I just want to make, and that was, mentioned when this was sent out. I just want all of us to know that we're probably going to have to drill a couple access holes.
So you said you were gonna bring that speaker unit in and set it up. Is that implying that you were gonna give us guaranteed results if we agree to this project? You're gonna do what we need?
I guarantee it will sound better than what you have now. Yes.
Can you speak of similar projects you've addressed in the past?
Sure.
Done?
Jim.
Yeah, other council chambers we've done recently, the historic courthouse in Ashboro. We've done in Morganton and Statesville. Those are both historic courthouses. Where we install systems like this. Also Thomasville, other old courthouses, similar in construction. Plaster walls. Newer ones we've done recently are down in Pinehurst. And these types of systems, we're pretty good at it. And yes, we can guarantee that everybody will hear every word spoken. If the people are speaking into the microphones, that's a big if. You can't be far away from a microphone and expect to be heard, but if everybody talks into a microphone, everybody will hear every word, both council members on the dais and the audience members.
So you think in the ordinance, you're gonna have a speaker, loud enough to, what people sitting in the ordinance out there can hear?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
What's the cost?
Bottom line for the wired mics, you're looking right under 40. $39,890.52 is what it came out to.
39,890.52.
Yes, sir.
That's contingent upon everything working as planned and nothing unforeseen.
That's contingent on the building rigging being standard, yes. If we have to come up with, additional rigging to get that speaker on the wall, then that will incur some additional cost, yeah.
Well, possibly maintenance could help you with those special needs.
Right,
Yeah.
so moving forward, it's just gonna take some investigating in the building to make those final determinations.
And that's not a huge issue. All we need is a solid structure behind the plaster. So we're assuming that there's standard wood blocking behind it.
Which way are we talking?
That speaker is about,
It's a pretty small speaker, it's
Yeah.
about 3 feet in length, so.
it's no more than 30 pounds, I think.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
So, a good 4x lumber would be plenty.
Do we know that since the building is historic, that we're gonna be allowed to do that?
There's
Since it's
nothing
historic courthouse?
we can check on that to verify before we.
Because I know the historical designation, there's things you can and can't do
Right,
to modify.
right.
We'll probably,
I know that the courthouse in Ashra is designated a historic building, and we didn't have any problem there. So I would assume it's under similar jurisdiction.
As I understand it, the wireless system is almost $25,000 more.
Yes, and if you wanted to go all wireless, which again, there's really. The podium mic in there really does need to be wireless, but everything else we would do wired anyway, or at least I would recommend them be wired. You get a lot more. It's a lot more stable typically to have more wired than wireless mics.
And you do have the wireless at the podium thing.
Right, correct. The podium would be a wireless
Mhm.
microphone and everything else would be wired.
You mentioned system processor, I believe is.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Where will it be located?
That will be located in a rack next to the table where the meeting is run. And on top of that will be a touch panel to, run the system and turn it off and on. From that touch panel will be one USB cable that will go into the computer for the meeting, for Zoom, or however you all want to stream. So that's how we'll be able to get all of the sound from in the room to your computer.
And I understand this is gonna be all new wire, right?
Yes, sir. Mhm. That is correct. And we did assess the equipment that you have currently, and our recommendation would be to replace it.
I mean, is it gonna be hard to get, we talking 110, I'm sure, to that podium,
No,
not
sir.
the podium, but the,
That will not be a problem.
To the speaker.
RD met with us too, and he didn't see a problem.
Any more questions?
What kind of timeline are we looking at?
Right now, we're starting jobs in March and probably take about a week to complete. And again, that kind of depends on once the equipment arrives, then we can do the job, right? So if we don't order it till March, then we probably can't do it, in March.
So it'd be at least 2 months out from tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
And things change, that might change, but yeah, so it would be a good estimate.
All right, any more questions? Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Mr. Chairman. No questions for the gentleman tonight, but one thing I would bring to the board's attention. And I do know that we do need to upgrade. We do have a problem. I'm just looking at it from a policy aspect, on informal business supplies of $5,001 to 999. Do we need to put this out for bid? Do we need to put this out for bid and see who comes in at the lowest? If you're gonna look at the policy that we have set forth, you know, by department heads, do we want to be held to that same accountability?
I should have, but it was for a long time, I don't know, but he put that for bid or not, but we have put stuff out for bid and no bid, yeah, probably. Just what's going on.
We certainly put it up for bids, but it seems to me like in this case, it's gonna be hard to compare equals to equals. Somebody just comes in and quotes separate, but nobody really knows what they're getting until they get it. So I think we need to rely, a lot on reputation, previous jobs they've done, and how well the end results turned out.
You know, but yeah, we'll move on. I don't know what I'm really appointment. And I think we have Gavin Campbell does vice council. He probated him, he has one somebody.
We have Barbara Jeffries applied for that, one of the 4 vacancies on the Casual Adult Advisory Council.
Yes, Chairman, I move to nominate Ms. Jeffers to fill one of those slots. I mean, so.
And they said maybe Rose, second by Sticks and all in favor, saying aye. All in favor. Passes seven. So next one is Macon Actors Advisory Committee, got 4 vacancies for there. And no one applied.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question? Mr. Miller,
Yes, sir.
how many members on that board? Ag Advisory Committee, how many are slotted to be on it?
You know that.
Is it 9? We have 5. When was the last time you had an application?
When we first posted it, we got the 5 initially. That was maybe November. But we were hoping to get the board filled before December so they could have a meeting, but we weren't able to.
Well, how does that number compare with other boards, committees, that 9?
Well, I think it was 9 initially because it was 9 townships or something, because they wanted it someone from each area of the county. But most boards are 7 or 9 members.
Well, Board of Adjustment is 5.
Yeah, I think they're them and the ABC board are the only ones that are a small group. Everybody else is the bigger boards.
I would say that, unless we have some applications in the very near future that we consider changing the number of members on some of these boards, so they can go ahead and start meeting. That's just my 2 cents worth, Mr. Chairman. We come back another meeting or 2 and we still don't have anybody wants to serve on it. I think we need to consider maybe lowering that board number.
Well, maybe we can kind of put that, and bring it up,
Yeah.
research when we have work session. Grab some of the things and put it on there. Okay, moving on.
Did we make a decision on Barbara Jeffries?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This board, I guess they're too often they will be.
Number 12 is appointment for the Bay of Health Board, but Aisha Quinn, she was on that board and she resigned, so that left a vacancy. We need to have someone in the county represent Gaston County for Region 4. And it could be, I think, possibly you're on the board
Yeah, I'm on
now.
that.
So it could be another commissioner, or it could be someone with DSS or somebody with the health department. Right now, it's short staffed in family services. So
Does that board be here?
it meets,
They don't meet
Every
here.
quarter, just like,
They do virtual sometimes, but they don't meet here.
okay.
I could ask any question about the board if y'all have any questions about the regional board.
Where do you usually meet at?
sometimes we meet in Burlington. You can meet virtually. It's really a great board to be plugged in to what's going on in behavioral health in the state. We have now, let's see, the Caswell board, it's with Alamance, Chatham, Franklin, Granville, Person, and Stokes and Vance County. So the CEO of VIA attends that meeting either virtually or in person. But you get great updates on mental health and what's going on in the region, events in the counties, and they serve lunch at the board meeting. If that entices anyone.
You will wait till, are you gonna come up with somebody and
I've reached out to a couple of departments, and that was like Friday last week, and I've heard back. I'm hoping we can get somebody from DSS or Health Department to fill that position.
TSS pretty sure they got it out, but I don't quite get anybody now.
What is the normal date quarterly?
Could you hear?
Oh, the normal date. Let's see. I can look that up and tell you. It might take a second. Let me look that up.
What time do these meetings take place?
I believe they start around 10 o'clock and go for 2 hours. Let's see if I can find it in time. Sorry.
Craig, you want to serve the room?
If Mr. Smith doesn't get anybody else to do
Okay.
it, I'll try to help you out.
That's question mark. Okay, great. Thank you.
How many did they need?
Just one.
Let's see. It looks like the next board meeting is on Wednesday, January 17th from 9 to 11 in Burlington. And it will move around. We like to have the different counties host a board meeting. We had one in Caswell last year, which was great. I know Commissioner Jeffries is on that board, but I look forward to seeing who decides to join us.
Going to 14 budget amendment, Jennifer Huckman.
Good evening. Not sure exactly how we want to handle this, since we just discussed possibly bidding out, but, this budget amendment was brought up earlier, and there needed to be more discussion. So we're bringing it back in front of you for consideration. This is for funds transferred to purchase the new audio equipment for commissioner meetings in the historical courthouse. I've given you an updated amendment to the original one that was passed out at a previous meeting. We consolidated and kind of made this a little bit easier to read. The justification is currently the audio sound equipment being used for commissioners' meetings in the historical courthouse is not the grade required for that room and acoustics. The microphones and speakers are not adequate. Rather than using funds from the current 2024 budget to cover the cost of new equipment, it is recommended that the majority of the cost be covered by funds remaining from the closeout of an equipment and automation which has been dormant with no activity since 2018. This fund, Fund 440, will be eliminated at the close of fiscal year 2021, and the funds will become part of the general fund balance. The remaining cost would be transferred from the supply line in the commissioner's fiscal year 2024 budget. So if you take a look at the revenues, we would be appropriating fund balance, increasing by $37,425. And the overall amended budget for fund balance would become $2,034,095. Expenditure line, the governing body supply line was originally appropriated at $12,000. We would take $5,000 from that expenditure line, leaving the amended budget at $7,000. Maintenance and repair for buildings, it had an original appropriation of $35,000. With the increase, it would become $42,425,000. And the amended overall budget for that line would become $77,425. I did want to note that the governing body supply line has a current available budget of $10,002.12 as of December the 31st of 2023. And the maintenance and repair building line has an available budget of $27,879.47 as of December 31st with projects pending.
So with projects pending, what projects are pending?
Well, currently the repairs for the courthouse, the painting, and I know there's been some carpet installed at DSS. Not sure what.
Will we run short of money in that fund before what else is out there to be done?
If we did not do the budget amendment, possibly.
Board member having question for Jim?
So maybe I'm not looking at these numbers right. You get out of maintenance and repair on the expenditures.
Mhm.
You're talking about amending that budget by 42,000, correct?
Yes,
For a total
Well-
of 77,425.
the amendment would be an actual $37,425 because the expenditure line, this is the total expenditure line. We're pulling $5,000 from supply line
Right,
and we are adding that to the 42,425. Well, that would make 42,425 in the maintenance and repair line.
right. But I'm looking over that last column,
Mhm.
the 77,425.
That would be the amended budget allocation for maintenance and repair building.
Okay,
But take into consideration that in actuality, they only have 27,879.47 available.
right. This is the 35 was the original.
That was the
budget.
original allocation.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the 37,425 you got there,
Mhm.
is that the number that you're using as far as the cost for the sound system?
It was,
Well, okay, because I know he quoted 39,
I think it's a little more than that. This is-
so we may have to do an adjustment after the fact.
It's about 20, little $2,400 difference.
This 37,425 amount is actually the balance that was available in that fund 440 that we're closing out.
Okay,
So that's where that figure came from.
Gotcha.
And then we just did an additional 5,000 from the supply line for the commissioners.
gotcha.
So it'll actually be a little bit more than what's needed.
That $37,425 and $7,000, that was enough to pay for that, this equipment, right?
Yes, sir. If you take that 37,425 and the 5,000 from the governing body supply line, it'll actually be a little bit more than what was needed. But he quoted at 39, I think,
Yes.
so we would have, there would be a little extra there. Which, you know, if they can't do what he was talking about, and they may have to, it might cost a little bit more if they have to upon inspection. That gives you a little bit of a safety net.
I think this is all contingent upon whether or not we approve the bid that was talked about tonight. Am I correct? So, for, which one do we do first? Take the bid and then do the budget amendment? That's what we don't, we'll just go.
If we get the money, I can go and get more bids. That's what the board wants me to do.
And we can bring this
We
back.
won't exceed that, so we definitely can do it if the money's there.
And if you would rather wait and have them go in and look and make sure that they can do what they're saying they can do.
I'd rather not have any surprises. I don't want you to have to come back and say, hey, well, $5,000 more money, 42.
Right. And have to do another one.
Yeah.
I like not having surprises, plus I like to put it out to be that you may have, I understand some companies don't have the exact same equipment as others, but in today's market, the technology we got, they're pretty compatible.
Right.
And we may get another bid comes in $5,000 cheaper, and that saves $5,000.
We can get 2 more bids.
What's the pleasure of the board? We're gonna try this amendment now, wait later. I guess it's good amendment.
I get the,
I didn't hear you.
I get the other prices before we're done the new. Yeah, we be with something.
All right, thank you.
Skip 15, go down to one person. And back for the staff department. He's coming.
Yes, sir. Before you, Commissioners, you have a resolution authorizing us to lease vehicles from Enterprise. This is necessary because we're having to go before the LGC to get approval to be able to lease these vehicles for the Sheriff's Department. Currently, it's going to be 5 Durangos that were ordered back in May of 2022 and just got delivered about 6 weeks, 2 months ago. So it took that long, but we found out that we have to go for the LGC since we're a UAL listed county to get approvals because they consider a lease the same thing as a loan. So we've got, we made contact with the LGC and they told us what all they needed. This was one of the last items they needed for us to make our presentation to get their opinion.
So they haven't gave you the bid.
They have not. That's going to be February.
So what's the place to vote here?
Is this, did you say this was something that we're supposed to have a copy of that we could look over? Because I hadn't seen it.
No, it was not in the agenda packet.
I think these cars were ordered back some time ago, $50,000. I think it was 5 cars.
So just under 40,000, I believe, per vehicle, Durangos. And it's be leased over 48 months, just under $1,000 per month. Money was in the budget for the 23-24 budget year.
Okay, okay. This is not something new.
No, this is not, this is just,
Okay.
this is just a step towards getting approved.
Gotcha.
We need a motion to approve it.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Motion made. The honors, second by Commissioner McBride, all in favor, any questions? All in favor, saying aye. All opposed, carried unanimously. Right. And next, county management update.
Yes, sir. I have a couple items tonight. We're currently working with the town of Yanceyville to put together interlocal agreement to collect an extra 3% occupancy tax for the Tourism Development Authority. It be effective January 1st, 2024. So after that, accepted within the town limits, a bed and breakfast or hotel would pay 6% tax, all of which would go to the Tourism Development Authority. Outside of town limits, it'd still be 3%. But we have to collect the money and disperse it to the town. So we need this interlocal agreement to be authorized by the commissioners to be able to proceed.
We need a motion for that. Think so?
I don't know that we need a motion for that. We'll have to proceed. I mean, we could bring the agreement to you once we have it in hand to get it approved.
That's a question, it's our responsibility to get taxes.
Yes, we collect the tax.
Okay, is Yanceyville come at us if we fail to get the taxes?
I guess they could, but our history with collecting taxes has been good. I think it's not one hotel in the town that's going to be paying it. So it's he understands it's going to go 3 to 6%.
It's a tax, something like a hotel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That goes to the.
Been good.
Yeah. Next item is financial updates. The budget process for the 2024-25 year kicks off tomorrow at the departmental meeting. We're going to have a training session with all the department heads to go over the changes that are proposed by Jonah Sharp and the NCACC as far as the budget presentation to the commissioners. So I think it'll be, I'm not seeing the old budget, but I understand it's a real improvement. So we'll see soon, but it will kick off tomorrow. We're expecting the 2021 report from the auditors by the next meeting, January 16th. That's what we've been told. So we're hopeful that they can make that deadline. He likes to come to this meeting and make his presentation. And we continue to work toward providing our auditors financial information for fiscal year end 22 and 23. Both data for both years are being compiled concurrently. So once we've got one, we've got the other. So we'll make good progress on that. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got current information coming to commissioners for this year, 23-24. What I provided for you over the weekend was for November. So next item is the historical courthouse painting project is progressing. However, it's delayed by extensive prep work and holidays. We expect completion to be the 26th of January. There's no additional money. It's just they're finding more bad spots and it's taking longer. So moving along. Next item is the finance department experienced a cyber threat on December 22nd when an email directed to the state of North Carolina was intercepted and altered by an outside source. The hacker attempted to redirect funds requested from the treasurer's office to their personal accounts. So we've taken preventive measures to foil these attempts in the future as well as this attempt. What we're going to do is close out the existing checking account since they got a checking account number on the emails. We'll close it out, and I think we did that today. Open a new account. Additionally, we're going to separate the regular checking from payroll disbursements to provide a better audit trail. So we'll have two different accounts in financing. We changed the effective email password that got hacked. And then we're going to have increased awareness and monitoring of what goes on the transaction. We'll be able to look after that. It could have been a lot of money, but our system called it and we were alerted and took care of it, but hopefully we can find the source behind it.
That's gonna be my next question. Do we know where it originated from?
We're going to get a report from IT next week. So I'd be glad to share that with you when I've got it. Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay, next one is in the commission's comments. Questions, yeah. Road.
I'd like to offer a couple things for lost children.
Thank you. I don't know when the funeral's gonna be, but I do know she's gonna be buried in the veteran cemetery on top of her. So they have to have a date, and they haven't got that yet, they let me know when they get buried. I will let both be involved, but that, I think they already proud. No comments there. Upcoming events, the January 15, 2024 county office closed for Martin Luther King's birthday. January 16, 2024, voter commission meet at 6:30 p.m. at the General Memorial Library. Need a motion to go into closed session. So moved. Motion made by Commissioner Ray, and second by Ms. Williams. All in favor, saying aye. All opposed? Announce that